The first light was a ghost. It had not yet touched the tops of the pines. Thomas woke to the sound of his own breathing in the dark room. The old floorboards creaked under his weight as he swung his legs from the bed. His bones ached with the coming cold of the day. He did not need a clock. The forest had its own time, and his body knew its rhythms. He pulled on his worn wool shirt and thick canvas pants. They smelled of wood smoke and damp earth. It was the smell of his life, lived close to the edge of the wild. His dogs were already awake by the door. Their tails thumped softly on the wood. Luna lifted her head, ears sharp triangles, muscle and speed, coat like a winter moon. Breck sat up slowly, broad-chested, steady, his fur the dark brown of wet soil. Tomas clipped the small pack to his belt and checked his rifle. Outside, frost silvered every blade. The ground crunched beneath his boots. Breaths fogged the air. 3 shadows slipped from the cabin into the greater shadow of the forest. They walked for an hour, deeper into the thick woods. The sun was still a rumor behind the eastern ridges. Only the soft pad of paws and the rhythmic tap of Thomas's boots. He knew this path by heart, every twist, every fallen log, every stream that cut across it. The forest had been lean this year. Deer herds were small and shy, pushed higher by a long, dry summer. Food was becoming scarce, for them and for him. A hunt was not sport, it was necessity. They reached a massive, lightning-scarred pine on a low ridge. From here, the land fell to a marshy valley, a place of cover, clear sight, and crossing trails.
Thomas knelt behind boulders and unclipped the leashes. "Go," he whispered. "Find."
Luna quartered the ground, restless seeker. Break moved slow and wide, the anchor, the guardian. He listened, not just for a twig, but for wind in needles, the crow's caw, a mouse in leaves. For a long time there was nothing.
Then he heard it, a single sharp bark from Luna.
Luna's bark was short, sharp, serious, not for rabbits or squirrels. Thomas felt his senses jolt. He pushed himself up, careful and deliberate. Brack's answer was a low, ground-vibrating growl, a warning. A patch of darkness shifted in the green, low to the ground, moving with power, too big, too solid to be a deer. He knew. He'd seen the deep tracks, the churned earth. A wild boar, large and bristled. He saw the glint of short, curved tusks. It was thin, hungry, desperate, the most dangerous kind. Its small black eyes burned. Luna froze 20 yards off, a taut line. Break placed himself between her and the threat. Thomas gripped the rifle, but the trees were thick and his dogs were too close. A clean shot was almost impossible. The air held its breath, a promise of violence if any moved. Tomas felt fear, not for himself, for his dogs. The tension snapped. The boar did not hesitate. It squealed and charged, at Luna. No time to think, only act. He fired into the air, away from the dogs. The blast cracked the valley. For a split second it faltered, then rage outweighed fear. It covered ground in 2 strides. Luna, lightning quick, twisted, but wasn't fast enough. A tusk raked her ribs. She yelped and tumbled. The world narrowed. Only his fallen dog remained. He ran, but Brack was faster, meeting the boar head-on. No snapping, just mass. He rammed and pushed, drawing fury onto himself. Tusks slashed his side. Brack yelped but did not back down. He stayed, a wall.
Thomas reached Luna. Her white fur was stained red. Stay still.
Section 5. The weight of a friend. The boar was hurt. Shrapnel from the warning shot had cut it. It backed toward the tree line, angry, unpredictable. His instinct screamed to finish it, justice for Luna. But she whimpered, trying to lift her head. Vengeance could wait. Survival could not. He scooped her up, lighter than he expected, and wrapped his coat to stem the bleeding. The path ahead was long. He glanced once at the trees, then turned for home. Break fell in step, limping, head high, on guard duty. Dawn broke in soft yellows and pinks, the morning's beauty a cruel joke. He murmured nonsense, good dog, almost home, unsure if he comforted her or himself. The path led to Marta's cabin, a healer of herbs and hands. He prayed she was there. He prayed she would know what to do. Section 6. A new threat on the hill. They had to cross a small, fast-flowing stream. An old wooden bridge groaned under his weight. He moved with care, trying not to jostle her. Brack followed close behind. Halfway across, he froze. Barking, from far away, not one dog, a pack. Dark shapes moved against the sky, dogs and men he recognized. They hunted for sport, reckless, efficient. Their dogs, lean and trained to kill. The wounded boar pulled them like a magnet, voices echoing across the valley. He crossed, laid Luna in a sheltered spot. Nowhere to run, rifle on his back. He did not reach for it. This was about presence. Two rangy hounds burst from the trees and stopped, eyes locked on the mountain in their path. Section 7. The Wall of Brack. As the pack hesitated, Brack moved, standing over the place where Luna lay. He did not charge, did not bark. He became a wall, feet wide, chest swelling, unyielding defiance. No growl, no teeth, only a stare that said, "You will not pass." The lead dog stopped dead. A young, brash hound lunged, barking. Brack didn't flinch. He shifted his weight, a low rumble built. A hard stare, a curling lip, enough. The young dog tucked its tail and retreated. The pack milled, uncertain, eyes flicking to the ridge. Three young men crested the ridge. Thomas stepped forward, palms out, plea and warning. "Headed home! My dog is hurt! Call them off!" A sharp whistle. "Here, boys! Leave it!" One by one, the dogs turned back. As the engines and barking faded, the silence felt different, gentle, healing.
He let out a breath he'd been holding. Good boy, good boy.
They reached Marta's cabin in golden light. She opened before he knocked.
"Bring her in, by the fire. Drying herbs, wood smoke, warmth and safety."
Marta worked with calm efficiency, cleaning, wrapping. Thomas sat with hot, sweet tea, watching practiced movements. Brack lay by the stove, exhausted, ears twitching at every sound.
"The boar did this?" Thomas nodded. "She'll be all right," Marta said. "The tusk missed her heart. She's strong. You did well to get her here so quickly." The words soothed him.
He watched sunlight move across the floor, fear draining, gratitude growing. He thought of the boar's eyes, Brack's wall, the terrifying weight of Luna in his arms. He had not been truly alone. They were his team, his family, and they had all survived. Section 9. The Promise of Home. Days later, they walked home. The journey was slow. Luna limped, head up, tail determined. Brack walked between Thomas and Luna, a quiet guardian. The forest seemed kinder. Small flowers bloomed. The world felt washed clean. He had left with his dogs, and he returned with his dogs. Nothing else mattered. In weeks of quiet healing, Luna grew stronger. Her scar paled beneath white fur. Brack healed, thin, silver marks like maps of bravery. Thomas did not hunt. He mended fences, chopped wood, sat with his dogs, hand on Brack's head, scratching Luna's ears. A hunter's job was not only to take, but to understand, respect, and protect your small part of the wild. His pack was a promise, to look out for one another in a forest that gives and takes. One evening, Luna curled at his feet, Brack's head on his knee. He thought of that ghost-light morning, and of this full, warm quiet. The best hunts, he knew now, are the ones that end right here, in the quiet peace of coming home.